his name up in lights. Don Miller is live every Thursday night. He's bold, he's real, no filters, no shade. When hits the mic, the truth gets laid. Don's in the building, his swag so tight. Check your feelings, he's exposing all the lies. Every Thursday at 8, his voice takes the stage. The man's got soul like a record with age.
That's what I'm talking about right there, man. Hey, I'm back. Still got a job. Still got a job. Still got the podcast. I put in an application, Phil. Shout out to Phil, the podcast doctor.
What was that? I
put in an application the other day to work for Ice T. I was gonna go work for Ice T, or Ice Cube.
So you're gonna be on SVU, Law and Order.
Something, man. I'm telling you, I needed a job, man. Somebody told me today, man, you ain't shaving a few days. No, man, they finna cut back the programs, all the SNAP benefits. Man, I want to talk about this today, man. I want to come here tonight and have a real conversation about the whole SNAP program. I am watching some of these people, man. And I'm going to speak on behalf of the black people because that's who I can speak on behalf of. And some of the Caucasians, because and I want to say this to the black guy who went after me the other day to tell me that there were more white people on welfare than black people. I know, Negro. Why do you have to tell me that? Because they have to attach white to everything that's got black, right? There are more white people on welfare than black people. I know there are more white people on everything than black people. Why, Phil?
Because there's more white people.
Yeah. So stop always trying to one-up a Negro. I'm just trying to smoke my cigar and have me a drink, but they ought to always be like, Don's with the whites, right? Tell me what program you have had that's employed people who look like you. None. They finna cut your SNAP benefits. So anyway, I really want to spend some time on this whole, I don't call it SNAP or whatever they call it all across the country. Most places across the country, it's got a different name. SNAP started out as the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program many years ago, SNAP. And that was, first of all, it was food stamps. So I remember food stamps when they came in a book, right? And you would tear the food stamp out and, they came to, the highest book was a $65 book of food stamps. So I grew up, and I'm publicly telling this story, Phil, you've heard the story before, that we were on food stamps. And And I'm watching these people who are on food stamps now, and they're going to platforms and they're angry and they're mad and they're threatening people and they're threatening businesses with theft and rage. I was embarrassed to take a $2 food stamp to the corner store and buy some penny candy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean, Phil?
Yeah, now they wear it like a badge of honor.
It's a badge of honor now. I was like, and I was like, it was just embarrassing, and I'll never forget when my mom got her job working for the Board of Education and we got our food stamps, right? I was so proud of where we had arrived, okay? And a book of food stamps, there was a $2 book at $5. It was a $10, but 65 was the largest denomination, right? And it was just kind of embarrassing, right? So my mom got the job working for the school board, and we got our food stamps, and the look on her face when we didn't have to go to the welfare office, or when we didn't have to, because back in the day, they would come to your house, Phil, and knock on the door and walk in like they had a search warrant, right?
For what? What do you mean?
Pull this up, Phil, because I want you to tell the audience this. It was the man in the house rule, Phil.
Oh, okay, I get it. I know.
Okay? The man in the house rule, if you could pull that up and just kind of post a screenshot, that'd be awesome. The man in the house rule. So they would come to the house, And the welfare, it was called a welfare, what was it called? Caseworker would come to the house, and they had the right to kind of walk around your residence like they had an actual search warrant from a judge. And I remember this lady was looking under the bed, and she was looking for men's clothing because if you had a man in the house, you did not qualify for government assistance, right? And I tell people all the time who want to have a conversation with me about how black men abandon the black family. No, the government set it up, and black women bought into it, right? And my concern is,
there you go. Can you read that or no?
Huh? Yeah, put that up.
Here,
I can't see it. See if you can put that up.
That bigger?
Okay, the man in the house rule was a welfare policy from the 1960s that denied benefits to families, particularly those on aid to families with dependent children, AFDC. If an adult male was found to be living with or frequently visiting the home, even if he was not the children's father and did not supply support, the policy was intended to prevent welfare dependency, but was criticized for being invasive, discriminatory, and disproportionately harming black families. The U.S. Supreme Court struck down the rule in 1968 in a case that I've studied significantly, King versus, put that back up, man. You just keep King versus Smith. I want y'all to go read King versus Smith, Supreme Court case, 1968. Anyway, so it's a man in the house rule, and it really crushed the black family. But now I'm watching this, and I know there are more white people on welfare than black people in this country because there are more white people in this country, right? But when I'm watching these videos, and I was telling Amber, young Amber Kushia from Amber Kushia Design, she make this show look like this. Don't think for 1 minute this is me and Phil, who like shout out to Sean today, who was saying, man, I want to shout out your team. I ain't got no team. I got Amber and Phil, okay? Kind of a team, but not a real team, right? For making things look amazing. But shout out to Amber Kuchia over there, background up in there. And what's interesting is the man in the house rule was probably the most giant detrimentalist to the black family. And again, shot down by the Supreme Court in 1968, King versus Smith. But let me just say this, right? So I'm watching these clowns go on video and say things that are so ridiculous that I question, and I asked the question, is EBT the new dope? Let's watch some of these videos.
Just discretionary language, so just,
yeah, they'll be all right. If they can't handle it, they'll be all right.
Prepare for that. Here you go.
All right.
My kids have not eaten 5 days. It is the taxpayer's responsibility to take care of my kids. They cutting off EBT since the shutdown. I can't use EBT in November. I got 7 kids with 7 daddies. Who's supposed to feed them? Them men ain't paying for nothing. They cut my motherfucking food stamps to $85 from $738. How the fuck that's supposed to support a household of 3?
My ABT does not pay for anything sweet anymore. And
What the fuck you mean? Who ain't getting that goddamn food stamps to goddamn November?
All I know is if they stop my food stamps, me and my man will be at the grocery store walking out with two big ass carts. And ain't bet nobody better do nothing because my man coming hard behind me and it only take him one time to punch your ass.
So they wanted $7 for this. Mind you, I don't have food stamps anymore. They cut me off. So I only had $22 left in food stamps. So this is what I stole. Okay, they wanted $9 for this. I said, oh, I don't got $9. Then they wanted $2 for this. They wanted, sorry, it's all fucked up because it's been in my purse. $7 for this. I'm making some stuffed salmon today. These are needed. I'm not paying $7 for that.
Phil,
Okay.
when's the last time you made
Let me
stuffed
show
salmon?
you the most important thing to me.
Never.
Never.
Short
She got
ribs.
meat in her
Take
purse.
off the label so that you don't beep. Get your fucking meat. How many do you think that I got? How many?
Okay, you know what? We're going to pause it right there because there are some other people I want to get to. So now you're stealing and you're eating better than people who go to work every day. I don't know if I ever had stuffed salmon at the house. And I definitely ain't seen no vacuum seal short ribs. Where they do that at? Huh?
All right.
So you're stealing, and the other young lady saying her boyfriend, he a G, he gonna run up on somebody if they don't get. Why he ain't feeding your fat ass? You don't look like you done missed any meals. Play some more of that.
All right. Here we go.
They're lying. I need somebody to fucking tell me they're lying. I need somebody to fucking tell me they're lying right fucking now, because what the fuck do you mean that I'm not gonna get my fucking SNAP benefits? What the fuck do you mean? Because what the fuck is happening? Do you understand that there are people like me who cannot work? Do you understand there are people like me who have kids who cannot eat? Do you understand there are people like me who go hungry the last week of the month just so my kids can't eat? Because SNAP benefits is all we fucking get. I need somebody to please fucking tell me he's lying. I can't.
All right, Phil.
Yeah.
Why she can't work?
Maybe because she's missing her teeth. I don't know.
She a chew tester?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. She can work, okay? Listen, this is amazing to me because as someone who grew up on government assistance, there was no greater scenario than to get off government assistance. It was a situation that people look forward to. I was just like, you go down and you told the food stamps out the book, and the Arabs, okay, it was a giant manipulator in the black community. They would sell you some Newport longs, okay, on food stamps. They would sell you anything on food stamps, right? But most of the people I knew were looking forward to the day that they did not have to wait for a check or somebody to come and invade their privacy and look under the bed, right? To me now, the assistance, the attachment to the government is like a badge of honor. And it's like the government has become the baby daddy to some of these people, right? Bob Swigert, what did Bob Swigert just say?
He says she looks like she has a nice kitchen.
Yeah, Bob, it's called Section 8. She probably pays $47, okay? And I'll tell you how I know that, but I ain't going to do it right now because somebody will be offended. Because we was on Section 8, too. My problem with the whole thing is this. At what level do you have to fall that you will go publicly and cry and vent that you are losing money that people who go to work every day is providing for you? And I'm confused. And then you say you're going to steal if you don't get it? Well, I want to tell people that the numbers in the prison industrial complex has been going down in the last few years. I want to encourage you not to do that because the numbers are going to go up. This is an absolute angle to drive your ass to the prison industrial complex. Shirt looks great. The hair looks like I cut it. See, that's another white dude who just, shut up, white man. Okay? Thank you so much, Gary Carroll. That's my brother in Indianapolis. But I am concerned for those people who grew up in our era, or in my era for sure, that understood when the SNAP program was a temporary initiative. This came under FDR in 1939. It was a temporary initiative coming right after the Depression, right? When they were helping people out. Think about when farm commodities were down and FDR, and they was like, okay, we're going to create a program to help people out, right? And that program ended in 43 only to come back as a lifelong program years later. And people are just milking the program. Phil, you ever bought food stamps from somebody who received them?
No.
Okay, so then
but
you
the current market value is half, though.
Huh? The
market
current market
half.
value for food stamps is what?
Half.
Right. Well, guess what else? No taxes.
Yep.
So I knew a lot of people who bought food stamps, right? And I'm watching this, and I'm watching how much money. And I got into a conversation with some left-wing black guys. I'm so ashamed of some of these Negroes. the other day who wanted to tell me how important it was for black people to get this type of assistance because they don't know history. If you trust the government, you don't know history. This was a ploy. This was an absolute setup. The man in the house rule, struck down by the Supreme Court in 1968, was the most evasive, ridiculous, racist action ever taken by a governmental entity, right? When somebody could knock on your door. I'll never forget when we used to have to hide the telephone, Phil, because the telephone was a luxury under aid for dependent children.
Wow.
You couldn't have a telephone. So my concern is watching these idiots and these women who can't control their libidos, these tricks, these hoes, quite frankly, right? If you got 7 baby daddies, you a hoe. On paper, for sure, you a hoe, right? And if you got 7 baby daddies and not one of them is taking care of the children, you may be even worse than that. Now, look, this show ain't for the faint of heart. I'm telling you there's something you can turn to right now that ain't going to say nothing terrible. But if you got 7 baby daddies, 7, Phil. Talked to a young lady the other day. She's got 6. She's panicked because 5 of them are in prison, right? And she's dating a guy now who works at the gas station. And I just wanted to say so bad, and I didn't do it, Phil. I just kind of told her, good to see you. Because I wanted to say he got low self-esteem. Because if he running up in you, especially if he running up in you raw, okay, and 5 or 6 of your baby daddies is in the Florida penitentiary system. Huh? What, say that again?
I said, bruh.
He running up in you raw. But guess what? These are hobosexuals. And I talk about this on the show often. You know what a hobosexual, Phil, pull that up so we can show the audience. I like to teach it. It's a Teachable Thursday. All right. These are hobosexuals. Hobosexuals prey on women like this, who got $70 rent and $2,000 in assistance and $2,000 in food stamps. A hobosexual loves nothing more. He shows up with a PlayStation or an Xbox, right? And a high libido, and he lives like a king, right? And these women think what is a hobosexual? A hobosexual is someone who pursues romantic relationships mainly for financial support or housing rather than genuine affection. They are known for charming their way into the hearts and homes for a rent-free ride and a steady flow of resources. I've known many hobosexuals. You know what I mean? And they prey on women with $70 rent and giant benefits. And this is what I'm watching when I see these women with multiple kids and they're crying and they're talking about how the government. I saw a video yesterday. The lady said the government was her baby daddy. And we are supposed to. You still got some of that footage you want to run, Phil?
Oh, that was all of it.
Okay. But it's amazing to me that I'm watching this. I want this. Look, I don't think, I think they're going to cut a deal quickly. It's been 30 days almost that the government's been locked down. But I want to hit another point on the government lockdown. I was following, and look, I was doing research the other night, right? I tend to do research sometimes. So I went to the Federal Pension Advisors and Glassdoor. Many of you people who got jobs know about Glassdoor, and salary.com, right? The average salary to some of these government workers, it's close to $100,000, Phil. So, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm a jerk, maybe I don't know anything about money. If you're making $100,000 and you miss a pay period, can you still survive?
You should.
Huh?
You should be.
Are we jerks for saying that somebody who misses a pay period that should be still able to survive, Phil?
No.
Huh?
I don't think we're a jerk for saying that.
Okay, because my position is, if you make it $100,000, if you G15 in the federal government, that's got to be 180, 190, right? And you shouldn't have to go to the cheese line.
Somebody who misses a pay period.
My bad.
Okay? You shouldn't have to go line up to get resources if you miss a pay period or even 2 pay periods, right?
Hey, YouTube's being weird right now.
Oh, because I'm talking about something I ain't supposed to talk about.
It's working fine on Facebook, but YouTube is being weird.
What is going on?
I don't know. It's saying there's no data.
Hey, go over to Facebook, guys, The Don Miller Show, and watch us on Facebook. Because YouTube, once I start talking about what people don't want to hear, you know how that go, right?
You know, this has happened before, to where people would hate, like they would report it.
Yeah, they reporting it, right? Probably
So-
some of these welfare people, these people getting these stamps.
I'm putting the link on the YouTube channel so people can go to Facebook.
Yeah,
But
go get off of YouTube again. Unfortunately, everyone,
That's crazy, dude. Because we're fine on Facebook.
you know,
So-
go check us out on Facebook.
So it's not an internet thing.
But the fact of the matter is, right, there was a time when people appreciated these programs for what they were worth. They were a leg up, they were a boost up, and they put you in a position where you can change your circumstances. I could tell you that's why my mama was on it, right? And it helped us a lot. And then she got a good job. And our lives changed at that moment, right? But when you are living through this system, when this is a legacy system to you or your family, I know young women who couldn't wait to get 16, 17 years old, feel to have a baby, to get on the Section 8 list and get food stamps. And I'll never forget the girl I really liked when I was probably maybe 15 or 16. She told me she wanted to get pregnant. And I was like, pregnant? You know what I mean? No, I don't want no baby. She was like, yeah, we could get us a place. Place where? Over here where I'm trying to get out of?
yeah.
You know what I mean? We already on the 12th floor by the elevator. We call them the Gucci apartments, right?
Do you remember I sent you this video? I think it was last month. I think we showed it on a show, to where this young man was arguing with his mother about him getting a job, and she was upset at him because he got a job because they were going to lose
Yes, we saw that.
their stuff.
You know, we lived in the project, 6215 South Wabash, right? And the project's on the 12th floor. And it was Section 8, and the rent was really cheap. And I remember I was like maybe 13, and the girl that I liked, I ain't never, because I wasn't thinking about no sex. I was trying to read books. But she was like, we can get our own place by the time we get 16. And it's amazing, right? That it's amazing. Shout out to my man. I'm going to come back to that conversation, right? It's amazing that, so I saw somebody, a friend of mine, probably in the last 10 years, and I asked, hey, man, you remember her? She lived on the 7th floor. He was like, yeah, man. She had like 7, 8 kids, and I could have been that first baby daddy. Ooh. But she probably, and he told me she's still living the same life. And I'm an old-ass man, right? The problem is I can't be mad at her. We went to Betsy Ross Elementary School together, right? And she was wanting to have sex, man. I was 13, man. I don't want no sex. You know, I'm 13, right? She was like, you want some sex? And I was like, no, you got any snacks? You know? I wanted snacks. I don't want no sex. What the hell? You know what I mean? But the point I make is this, right? If you have known people who have attached themselves to this mindset historically, and I don't know about you, Phil, I know I do, right? I know people who've been on welfare for 40 years, 50 years.
Wow.
And in a society like this where you, there is a great opportunity. There's some, look, I tell people all the time, and I listen to these politicians, these people who play games with the minds of the downtrodden, right? There are more avenues to change your circumstances if you are a black in urban America than if you're a poor white in Appalachia. And you know how I know this, dude? Because I've been to Appalachia. White folk don't even care about them. You follow me, Phil? We got the Negro College Fund, and we got the NAACP, and we got the 100 Black Men. I can go down the list, right? In many of these major cities, you know, you got programs, right? If you poor and white, it's highly likely you're going to be poor and white. And my concern is when you got to come to me and tell me that there are more white people on welfare in a country that there's more white people, then that's because you don't have anything else to say. My concern is when I watch these people that are devastated that the free money, that the handout is being taken away, which please understand is not being taken away, right? The government is still collecting taxes. Shout out to Tea Time. I don't know what his name is on social media. Put that back up, man. Tea Time. He called himself something. I love him, man. That's my dude right there. That was my first producer. Well, he was my first white producer. Yeah, Glenn Allgood for years. Then we went over there to the white people. They gave us Timmy. Tea Time. He's over at a wonderful, wonderful school called Full Sail. It ain't short money, but you might learn something. And but it's amazing, PJ. Being a poor kid made me work harder so my kids didn't have. PJ, that's because you live and love your children. You live for them. How they engage and how they grow is extremely important to you, PJ. Thank you so much, my friend. But it's amazing how being just people that settle, man. You know, it's amazing. I mentioned a few minutes ago that a young lady told me that the white man got his knee on her neck. And I'm like, no, you got your neck on his knee.
Oh.
You follow me? Because if you attach yourself to this system, in the words of Stephen Biko, the greatest, most profound weapon of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed, right? And how dare you fault the shepherd for hurting you when you walk, talk, and act like a sheep? Phil, right?
Mm-hmm.
How dare you fault the shepherd for hurting you when you walk, talk, and act like a sheep? That's who you are. If you don't seek to change your circumstances and you're standing in the wilderness waiting for somebody to swoop down and change it for you, then you're going to get got for the rest of your life. And you can't blame anybody. And even if you understand street game, Phil, you grew up kind of bougie, but even if you understand street game, right?
Yeah.
The game is to be sold and not told. So when you attach yourself to the oppressor's regime, right? The other day they were saying that there were 42 million people attached to the EBT program in America, right? And I was saying to myself, there's no way. Because I'm stuck in 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84. I'm stuck when knowledge was the most important thing to me because my favorite teacher, Miss Hunter, at Douglas Elementary School, told me how important knowledge was. So I would go home and I would watch the news every night, and I would watch Walter Cronkite and Eric Severide, and I would watch Walter Jacobson and Bill Curtis. And I'll never forget, there was a guy named Jimmy Carter. He was running for president, and I heard him speak about welfare. And this was, you don't know what this means if you look like me or you may be country like some of my white friends. This was directly after me and my mom had gone to the welfare office to renew her food stamps. And I sat there and watched my mom degraded, right? And I saw this Jimmy Carter clip as he was running for president. Watch this.
We've now got 12 million people on welfare chronically. First of all, we need to separate that 10% of welfare recipients who can work completely out of the welfare program. Put them under the Labor Department, Education Department, teach them how to work, give them a job training, match them with a job, and offer it to them. If they don't take it, when it's offered to them, I wouldn't pay them any more benefits.
If you agree that our welfare system must be reformed, vote for Jimmy Carter, a leader for a change.
Okay, now watch this, guys. I was a kid, might have been 12. And I remember when Jimmy Carter, maybe 10, I was 10, when Jimmy Carter was running for president. And I saw that, and that was his entire ride through the campaign, reforming welfare. And I was like, this is a guy that I like, because I know that this welfare system is creating people who will spend their lives attached. I want to shout out my favorite teacher of all time, Miss Bliss Ann Hunter at Douglas Elementary School, who taught me to pay attention, right? And Jimmy Carter, right, said that. That was his absolute campaign ride out. I'm getting ready to handle this welfare situation because we creating a problem that's going to be a problem for a long time, Phil, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, I like this peanut farmer from Plains, Georgia, right? Now, he wasn't the best president by far, but he was the greatest post-president in the history of this country. Because sometime when you a real do-gooder, you can't do good when you are under control of the system, right? So when he separated from the control mechanism, he became one of the greatest post-presidents that we've ever seen. So then I hear this guy, Bill Clinton, years later. He's running for president. Southern guy is just like Jimmy Carter. Bill Clinton, a Southern guy from Little Rock, Arkansas, governor of Arkansas. And this is what he said during his campaign.
We must assure all Americans that they'll have access to health care when they go to work. That's why so many today maintain themselves on the welfare rolls. The new covenant can break the cycle of welfare. Welfare should be a second chance, not a way of life. In my administration, we're going to put an end to welfare as we have come to know it. I want to erase the stigma of welfare for good by restoring a simple, dignified principle. No one who can work can stay on welfare forever. We'll still help people to help themselves. And those who need education and training and child care and medical coverage for their kids, they'll get it. We'll give them all the help they need. And we'll keep them on public assistance for up to 2 years. But after that, people who are able to work, they'll have to go to work, either in the private sector or through a community service job. No more permanent dependence on welfare as a way of life.
Wow. Now, Phil, Donald Trump said that last year, right?
Evil man.
He was a horrible racist. Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
This is what we have to pay attention to. If you don't know your history can't be a mystery. If you are allowing your history to be a mystery, you're doomed forever. I'm telling you that one of the greatest negative aspects in the history of this country coming out of Jim Crow and slavery has been the welfare programs, because it has hurt growth. And I'm going to do something I don't always do, but I want to do it today because there's got to be some people out there, right? Because I'm being attacked by non-readers. I love it when non-readers attack me. I just treat them like they're non-readers, right? I'm watching Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, go hard in the paint the other day. And I was just so happy that it came down the way it came down. I want to play this clip.
There are simple facts about the Democrat shutdown that everybody needs to recognize. Here's 4 of them. First of all, we have to have Democrats to reopen the government. You know that in the Senate it requires 60 votes to break an impasse. Hang on, Lily, hold it real here. Keep it close to the podium. I want everybody to see this, okay? We're going to make it simple. I had my 15-year-old son and some of his friends were together over the weekend, and they wanted me to explain it to them as simply as possible. This is the little formulation, okay? Hey, fellas, remember from civics, you got to have 60 votes in the Senate. We only have 53 Republicans, so we must have Democrats to do it. The Democrats are out trying to claim that this is all on Republicans because we control the government. We don't control the Senate without 60 votes, so you have to have them. Now they've voted 13 times, those Senate Democrats, counting the House and the Senate together, they voted 13 times to keep the government closed. And what they're demanding as a ransom to reopen the government are some really crazy things. They want to restore $200 billion in health benefits paid for by U.S. taxpayers to illegal aliens and non-citizens. We can't do that. They want billions of dollars in wasteful programs to be returned to foreign countries for things that none of you would agree with. We are not going to do that. They want $500 million to go back to left-leaning news organizations, paid for by taxpayers. We can't do that. And then they want to cut $50 billion from the Rural Hospital Fund that Republicans got signed into law July 4th to prop up health care in red states and rural areas around the country. It's too important, but they want to take that away. They know that we can't do it. And now that they've begun to admit what this is all about, thanks, Lee, put it on the thing there. They're admitting what they're up to. Chuck Schumer said every day of the shutdown gets better for us, meaning the Democrat Party. And you know, we had the second-ranked Democrat in the House, the minority whip, who just said a few days ago, the end of last week, that we know that this is causing great pain for the American people, but we have to use this leverage. We don't have many time.
Stop it right there, right? Stop it right there. Look, guys, for real, right? If you know the history of this conversation, we've had a lot of government shutdowns. Coming off of Reagan, we've had a lot. First few times, nobody got paid. Then the Congress and the Senate voted that they got paid, right? This is a historical angle, but it's easy to play people when they don't know history, Phil. Yep. August 31st, 1964, the Food Stamp Act was established under LBJ. And if you read the guidelines to the Food Stamp Act, right, it will astonish you, because this was a part of what was alleged to be the war on poverty. It was never a war on poverty. It was a mechanism of control. Because with the Food Stamp Act came the man in the house rule. And the man in the house rule said he can't be there. And a lot of women put guys out. If you understand the dynamic of the black family in the 40s, 50s, they were a more cohesive unit than white people by far, Phil. Mm-hmm. And that was a problem for some people. So why not utilize a federal program to separate that? And then you throw your hands up and like, black men ain't shit. They leave their families. No, the government created an avenue. I'm sorry. They're going to kick us off all the damn platforms.
Mm-hmm. You about to do it. You about to do it, bro.
But then white people over there at that radio station waiting for me to come. I filled out my application. Can somebody look at my application over there at Florida Man Radio? Because one thing they ain't never told me is what I can't say.
There you go.
I think they're going to look at my application this week, but I threw it in the application. Can I bring Phil and Amber Kushia from Amber Kushia Designs? And I'm going to bring, one day a week, I'm going to bring Lazy Prodigy.
Oh.
Okay? And so Lazy Prodigy, we got to pray for him, keep him in our prayer. Okay? But we have to be comfortable calling BS when we see it. The federal government was the catalyst for crushing the black family. There's no question about it. There's no way you can change it. I've looked at it. I've studied it. So shut the hell up. When you create a rule that someone's monetary, financial situation depends or not on if there's a man in the house, And this is after the Great Migration field. Let's be clear. Over 5 million black folk fled the South to go north for a better life and not to get hung up in a tree. Right? And many of the black men who fled went north and found women and unfortunately didn't reach back to bring their families with them, right? Listen to me. I tell brothers all the time. I tell white boys and black guys and my friends I smoke with, I'm going to see something tonight. Vagina ain't never been your friend.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah.
You have to be on some man stuff to understand that you have to be strong and be committed to something. Because if you don't stand for something, what happens, Phil?
Fall for anything.
Fall for anything. So when you watch the millions of black men who fled the North, the South, and went north and told their wives and their families, I'll be back to get you. And they went up to Chicago and Detroit and Cincinnati. They met them red bones.
Oh, no.
Wasn't that many red bones in the South. Okay? Red bones in the South already was committed to the overseer. Yes or no?
Yeah.
They went up north, found them red bones, thick as cold peanut butter. Forgot all about their wives, Sean. Yeah, they did, right?
Uh-huh.
Families was devastated and torn apart. I raised my hand. My family probably. I still don't know who my dad is. My mama already went home to Jesus. I'm just saying that if you trust the government, you don't know history. And to say that the use of financial resources by the federal government hadn't been an angle historically and used as a control mechanism. Think about this, right? You got a gang of Afghanistanis came over here, right? Afghanistan, people from Afghanistan, right?
Mm-hmm.
We paying all their bills and giving them checks. We got Haitians from Haiti, and we should absolutely be doing better by the Haitians than we should be doing by any of them, because that's 90 miles over there, right? Yeah. And they a war-torn country with no leadership. We got Iraqis over here getting big checks. We got Somalians in Minnesota who don't even like us, right? Mm-hmm. All I'm saying is this. We take care of everybody but our people. So when I watch these people go on these videos and talk about somebody got to take care of them, this is a setup. And to all these overweight black women and that white trash-ass white chick that I saw on that video with no teeth, talking about the government got to take care of her, take your white trash ass somewhere and get your teeth fixed. And to the black women with 6 baby daddies, that's on you. Close your legs. Phil, am I wrong?
No.
Because I know people going to be like, Don Miller, he just hate black people. They're going to say, I hate white people too. But the problem is this. If I come on here and play with y'all like some of these podcasters,
Yeah.
because they joke casters, Phil.
Okay.
If you got a show and you say what people want to hear, you're not a podcaster, you're a joke caster, right? The reality of it is, I grew up in an era where if you ain't calling it like you see it, you ain't calling it. I'm reading a book right now about a lady named Linda Taylor. Phil, I want you to put this name on the screen. Somehow, see if you can put this name on. Linda Taylor. You Google this, Linda Taylor, Chicago. Linda Taylor was made famous by Ronald Reagan. And, of course, the liberals got mad at Ronald Reagan when they called her the welfare queen. In the 70s, she was accused of making $150,000 a month. That's equivalent to about almost $1 million a year from welfare. She had like 80 aliases, a bunch of different residences, and she's kept getting welfare and food stamps, right? Driving around in fancy Cadillacs and fur coats. And I thought this was a mythical figure, Linda Taylor, okay? Phil, see if you can just Google Linda Taylor, because I want y'all to read this book. I'm listening to it on Audible right now, but a lady across the street from me when I was young knew her very well. Linda Taylor. She's known as the first welfare queen, right? Look at that. What does it say, Phil?
This article is about the criminal. She committed extensive welfare fraud.
Yeah.
In fall of 1974.
And she was a mulatto who posed as white, Asian, and other, but she'd been included insurance fraud, bigamy, kidnapping, and possibly even murder. Linda Taylor, she died in 2002 in Harvey, Illinois. That's south of Chicago. But Ronald Reagan mentioned her name during his run for presidency. She was getting $150,000 to $180,000 in welfare. She was a welfare recipient, but she had 80 aliases and she was getting checks. The system was broken, right? But when I make this conversation for one reason, this is nothing new that people have been gaming the system. But how with the technology today that people are still able to game the system? Just because you let a bunch of guys put semen in you doesn't mean you need to be taken care of by people who work their asses off every day. But this is a ploy. This is a game. This is an angle. I'm sorry. The poor will be with you. Don't the Bible say that? There's got to be a scripture, Phil. Can you find that? I'm opposed to continually taking care of people who engage in this kind of behavior. And to the girl I know with 9 kids, she's a really nice girl. She's got some I think she's intellectually disabled. And she's got 9 kids, and she's got 8 baby daddies, right? And her check is gigantic, Phil. But guess what? Okay, the scripture, the poor will be with you always, appears in the gospel of Matthew, Mark, and John. So he kept saying it. The poor will be with you always, have with you, but you will not always have me. The poor will always be with you. You can help them whenever you want. The poor will be with you. Let me just say something. So the girl I'm talking about with all these kids, right? She feels like she's entitled to the government to do for her, Phil. This is when it gets weird to me, right? Back in my era, I knew women with a lot of kids and a lot of men, right? This whole thing ain't new. But many of them, even in my era, still wanted to work. Now it's like, y'all owe me something. Who owes you anything for being a hoe? Right? And the government has become engaged in a level of bitch-assness, bitch-assery, right? That I'm stunned by. But I understand why. These are people that will sign off on a ballot just because people engage in the same ridiculous behavior that they engage in. If you are a woman with 7 kids and 7 fathers, you should be shunned from us. Damn, I had to say it. I didn't want to say it, Phil. If you have 7 kids and 7 fathers, you should be shunned from us. Phil, let's open the phone lines up, man. I got to do this. I want to talk to my people, man. I miss y'all so much. I missed y'all last night, man. Call us, 352-717-4071. I like to talk to the listeners. But if you got 7 damn daddies and you are not trying to fix your situation, we should shun you. Not shun the kids, but shun you. There should be some type of mechanism that rings a bell to the people that write the checks that we can't trust her fiscally. I know a girl with 7 baby daddies, and the number that she receives every month is outrageous. And she don't put it on the kids, Phil.
Wait, what?
No, Phil, them babies, man, you know, she was a part of the program that I was a part of, okay? Great program, wonderful program, right? 7 baby daddies. And when you saw her, man, she was dressed to the nines. And them kids look so, oh my God, man, it was so horrible, man. We should pull back on her. I'll just be honest with you. My point, see, I ain't saved, or I ain't the kind of Christian. Many of you guys like Sean, them, and Amber, y'all all good-ass Christians like Jesus. Ain't nobody like D'Amica Page. She's Jesus. She's 3 Jesus, right? But if you got 7 baby daddies, you need to repent from your sins, right? Because on paper, there's only one thing you can be. What is that, Phil?
What do you mean?
On paper. Oh, see, Phil even scared to say, you got 7 baby daddies.
He could be a hoe.
A hoe!
We got a call. We got a call.
Let's go to the phone lines. Hey, you on the Don Miller Show. What's your name? Where are you joining us from?
My name is Anita. I'm joining you from Jacksonville, Florida.
I love you.
I love you too, Don.
What's your thoughts, Anita?
My thoughts are exactly what you're saying. I listen to what you're saying about the system and the way the system has really, really screwed our community up and over, and mentally these people feel entitled. And I just feel like I understand everybody needs help. I'm not taking that from anybody.
Absolutely.
But when you have people who are generational food stamp pick hard carriers, that's a problem. Because again, that's why a lot of these women in our community don't have respect for men. They don't have to, because they're listening to their white daddy, and their white daddy is giving them food stamps. It has to change. Now that all these food stamps are being cut, guess what? It's time for y'all to go back to Tyrone and leave Ted alone.
You know what's amazing? I thank you so much for saying that, Anita from Jacksonville. It's amazing because Anita's been a listener to the show for many years, and I love her so much. I love her husband, who is one of my favorite entertainers in the history of entertainment. Anita, can you just tell the listeners who your husband is?
My husband is Carlos Daddy Black, a.k.a. Daddy Black of 95 South. Whoop, there it is.
Whoop, there it is. That's my man. Could you tell him I love him? I know you will. But
I will.
I love him.
I will.
I grew up with 95 South and the other group that was associated with them. Those are my friends. And Anita, you've been supportive of this broadcast for many years on radio, but you are 100% right. Like I said earlier, I would be fine if they shut it down for 10 days, just to send the message. You have to have a plan. You can't depend on daddy. And daddy likes the fact that you are attached to the nipple. That is a control mechanism. Would you agree?
I agree with you 100%. And see, what a lot of people don't understand is that when they had their think tanks back in the day, they knew that, once we integrate, we're going to get them to the point where, guess what? They're going to be so dependent upon them that we're going to pull the rug from under them, and they're not going to know anything to do. So all these women with these bonnets on and these long eyelashes and long ass toenails who talking about they getting ready to go in Walmart and push out buddies of food, they love y'all because they getting ready to lock y'all up and take y'all kids.
Thank you so much, Anita. I love you. Hey, tell Los I said hey.
I will. We love you too,
Love
Don.
you, babe. Let's go back to the phone line. Phil, you remember him?
Yeah. Call back whoever was calling.
Phil, they had great music, didn't they?
Yeah.
You remember any 95 South, Phil?
I just remember that song.
That's all you remember is Whoop There. You are so young, man. Jesus,
I'm
man.
38.
Dude, 95 South was that group.
Yeah.
Okay, and the 69 boys, you don't remember them?
Yep.
You such a child, man.
They were here, actually.
They're all here. Jacksonville, Orlando. Absolutely.
All right.
Let's go to the phone lines.
Yep. They're here.
Hey, you on the
Hello.
You on the Don Miller Show. What's your name? Where you calling from?
That's Pat.
Hey, fella, this is Pap.
Hey, Pap from Florilla, Alabama. That's right over the line. Pap, I'm coming to see you guys. I'm going to reach out to you in the next few days. I'm coming up there. Hopefully, I'll be with Jonathan from Organic Meats. And
I heard your plans.
Yeah. I really want you to catch me some fish. What do you catch when you go out on the water? What do you catch, Pap?
Well, brim and bass and catfish. I don't do much saltwater fishing at all.
No.
They're
Catfish. Come on.
Too expensive.
Pap, I'm black. You think I won't eat catfish? How you cook your catfish?
Deep fry that sucker, buddy.
All right, good. So, Pap, what's your thoughts, man?
That's it. Well, man, on the subject tonight,
yes.
Oh, Lord mercy. Man, when I was coming up, every black family had a daddy and a mama and grandparents and aunts and uncles, and they were a good community.
Absolutely.
And after I graduated high school, I started seeing things changing.
Absolutely, Pap.
And it's awful, man. They should have took those people, the bureaucrats that done that, and horse whipped them and then hung them. You know?
Absolutely. And we're talking to a guy from deep Alabama, correct, Pap?
Absolutely, buddy. I'm down here in L.A.,
Lower Alabama.
About as low as you can get.
Hey, Pap,
Yeah.
I love you, man. I'll hit you up soon, okay? I'm coming to see you.
Okay, brother.
I tell the wife I said, tell the wife I said, hey.
Sure will, buddy.
All right, take care. Phil, you know what I love my listeners. These are all my radio listeners.
Y'all can call back. I can only get one at a time.
These are my radio listeners from Lower Alabama in the Panhandle. And we had a great relationship for a long time on Florida Man Radio. I'll never forget when I first started there had never been a black person on that broadcast, on that platform. There had never been a black person in that region that got the numbers that we got. And I'll never forget that when people were calling it what they thought it was. Look, racism is a lot of it is a mind thing, Phil, right? Them people ain't know me from Adam, right? But they brought me in, they accepted me, and they supported me at a level I had probably never been accepted in my own community. So y'all can call it what y'all want to call it, but I want people to understand sometimes, depending on what you're saying, you're not going to be accepted by your own. Let's head back to the phone lines, 352-717-4071. The Don Miller Show. I love taking phone calls. Y'all know I live for this. We got somebody on the line?
Yeah, when you hear me do that, that means someone's on the line.
Okay, hey, you're on the Don Miller Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Bro, it's Imran. What you doing?
Oh, my goodness, man. Where you calling us from, brother?
Austin, Texas.
Man, Austin, Texas. My man, Imran, he is one of the best. He's been in Austin for the last few years. Got a great business, a thriving business. Tell me what's going on, Imran. But he's from outside of Chicago originally. What's going on?
OG from Chicago, just like you. But yeah, first off, with that shirt, you need to bring your ass to Austin so I can get you some tacos and brisket.
I'm coming in the next few weeks. I'll text you, and I really want to spend some time with you while I'm there.
For sure. But, I wanted to just make a comment about what you're talking about. When I was a kid, my mom and dad got divorced, and it took a couple years for mom to get back on her feet. I hated going to the grocery store with food stamps.
Absolutely.
That embarrassment, right? Like getting those cheap Hostess pies and that bologna and the cheese. Hell no, dude.
No, Imran, you're 100% right.
For us, when
ahead.
you got back on cash, you felt like, okay, hey, you know what? I don't have to be embarrassed anymore. Problem is, these EBT cards look like MXs.
You're right. You don't know. Right. We had to tear it out the book, remember?
Right. There's no embarrassment anymore. Everybody feels entitled to it.
Yeah.
It is okay, right? Nobody knows that you're buying food stamps. I didn't want to even go up to the register and look at the lady in the eye with my food stamp.
Hey, Imran, tell us what your business is, because you have made a bunch of my cars over the years look amazing. Shout out your business, man.
I run Driven by Design. I've always take care of Donnie. I like building cool cars, and Donnie likes driving cool cars.
What's your website? What's your website?
If you're in Austin, drivenbydesign.atx.com.
Listen to me. This guy has made every car I ever drove look amazing, no matter how cheap it was or how expensive it was. This is my friend Imran. He's in Austin, Texas. Hey, man, I'm coming to see you soon, man. Hug the family for me.
Hit me up.
All right, man. Appreciate you, brother. Hey, Phil, that dude, man, oof, he is one of the best. He has, I don't care what I bought. He said, I can make it look good.
Nice.
And I just love my family all over the country. My friends in Vegas, Imran's in Austin, my buddy Steve in Houston, my buddy in L.A. who just sent me a message that he's listening. Some of my famous friends who are texting me now that I'm not going to shout them out because they don't always want people to know. But, give us a call. Put the number back up, Phil. I want to go a little late if you don't mind, like a couple of minutes. There are a couple of people want to call in. 352-717-4071 is the number to dial. Thank you so much for following the show. You can head over to the website where we got all the merch. People ask me about the shirts I wear, the Don Miller Show shirts. They're all on the website. Shout out to Amber Kuchia at Amber Kuchia Designs, who makes that possible. Let's run through a couple of my sponsors, Phil. Can you do that? Love Betty Kibble, man. Betty Kibble has been my friend since we was in 7th grade. She's in Cleveland, Ohio. She listens to the show all the time. Let's run through some sponsors, Phil, because these are my friends, man. Shout out to Casa Leon Jewelers, Renee, and his lovely wife, man. And that's my family. I love them so much. They are amazing. Casa Leon Jewelers. Let's go to the Vineyard. The Vineyard Lake Mary, my little brother, who I was with last night, Robbie, who is excellent. If you live in this region, especially Central Florida, it is no better wine list in the region. They have been rated one of the top wine restaurants in the region. And just want to tell you, man, I love you, bro. I want to shout out some people. My friends, Tanya and Jeff, Corona Cigar. They have 4 locations, Orlando, Lake Mary, Sarasota, and Tampa. Corona Cigar, what an amazing. Shout out to Real Rap Kane. Phil, you know Real Rap Kane.
Yeah.
Real Rap Kane has a great program. Let's head back to the phone lines. Hey, you're on the Don Miller Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's up, Don Miller? It's AJ, Walton County.
Walton County, Florida. AJ, what's up, man? How's the weather? It's cold up there, ain't it?
Oh, it's chilly, yeah, man. And friggin', it was cloudy. Hell, the sun was out more yesterday than it was today.
What's your thoughts, man? Go ahead.
Oh, shoot. Well, my thoughts are, when Griffo gave you a call a couple of weeks ago, I wanted to jump on there, but you let that show go over. But, man, friggin', my daughter, I got 4 grandkids, and, she tries. I mean,
hey, why don't you find Griffo up there? Griffo's up there with you guys. Go to that cigar bar he hangs out at.
Yeah, all right, I'll check that out. But you know what I mean.
Tell him to give me a job, man. He's at Leaf and Lager. Go tell him to give me a damn job.
Hell yeah, you know it. But like yesterday, when Jamaica got hit by the hurricane, the U.S. is talking about sending help over there. It's like, come on, man. I told Shannon the same thing yesterday. Until they fix this shit, nobody gets nothing.
It's amazing. Thank you so much, AJ. It's amazing, Phil, and I want to hit this, and you can take it the way you want to take it. It's amazing how we help everybody except the people that we should be helping here. Yep. Jamaica's a third world country, but they will tell you they're not. Haiti's a third world country that needs more help than Jamaica. So if we ain't help Haiti, who has a government that is controlled by tyrants, right? And we're going to run over to Jamaica because there are more Jamaicans here than there's Haitians. Jamaica's a third world country that should already have infrastructure. I don't care how many good singers came out of Jamaica. Jamaica's a third world country. How do we have that many third world countries in the region and nobody said to any of these places, Y'all need to figure your infrastructure out. But we can't help everybody. I am still upset that we went to Ukraine and helped them blue-eyed white folk to the extent that we have, right? We can't help everybody. If there's one veteran under a bridge in America, that's who we should help first. If there's one person who served this country in America under a bridge or homeless or in a shelter, if there's one American citizen that can't get help, we should help them before we help any country. I mean this from my heart. I don't care about Jamaica. I don't care about Haiti. I don't care about if there's one American who needs help and we jump that American to help anybody else, then shame on us. Haiti, for sure, needs real help. But to jump Haiti and help Jamaica? No, not at all. And to jump Haiti and Jamaica to help the Ukraine? Hell no. The Ukraine is a money grab. And let's be clear, guys. I'm going to say this about Israel. Israel is rich. All I'm saying is this. If everybody in this country is good, then let's help everybody. But if everybody in this country is not good, then we need to help this country first. And there's so many bitch-ass, coward-ass people who are afraid to say something. I'm going to put out a list of who should be helped. I promise you Jamaica would not be in the top tier. Haiti does not have a government. We should help Haiti. They're close to our shore. And then there are people that needs to be helped. Because the Bible, and I know this scripture because y'all know I ain't D'Amica Page. I love her so much. Charity starts at home and spreads abroad. But why would we give more commitment to Jamaica than we to Haiti? And Haiti is a country in ruins with a bad operation at the top. Yes, it was tragic that the hurricane hit Jamaica, but the hurricane hit Florida too. Hurricanes are going to happen. But we have to help ourselves and the people who need help the most. So I was talking to a guy the other day, and he's such a hoe-ass, bitch-ass dude, right? It's hard to talk to idiots, right? I always say in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man reigns king. Jamaica ain't first. If we're going to help, let's help Haiti over there. Because they have an overthrown government. And honestly, when you look at TPS, temporary protective status, they just got screwed on that, Mr. President, sir. Let's fix the problem, man. Again, thank you so much, everybody. I love you so much. Thursday nights, The Don Miller Show, 8 p.m. Follow me on all platforms. Please, on Facebook, The Don Miller Show, on all the platforms. Hit me up in the inbox, The Don Miller Show, on every platform. I love y'all so much. Do me a favor. Amber been going off on me. She said I don't promote the website and the T-shirt and the merchandise enough. Look, all those shirts y'all see me in, even this shirt right here, courtesy of Skip's Western Outfitters, 2 convenient locations, beautiful Osteen, Florida, which is the flagship store, or the big mega store across the street from the Speedway in Daytona Beach. Let me see the back of this shirt. Look at this shirt. You can actually get this shirt at Skip's Western Outfitters. If y'all really like Don Miller, now don't nobody do this for real, okay? If you could get on the back of this nice-ass shirt. See, black folk just got into country music because Beyonce done got a country music song. I don't have no idea what the hell that's about. But let me see the back of that shirt again, right? The Don Miller Show right there. Look at that. Ain't that nice? Courtesy of Skip's Western Outfitters. I love you, Skip, man. Skip Patsos, my brother. He was in an accident recently. He's doing better. Love you, John. Love you, Cheyenne. Love you, Kenny, man. Kenny runs the operation. John is the president of Skips Western Outfitters. Now, it's my nephew. If you want some badass boots, if you done got sucked into this Beyonce or to this boots on the ground nonsense, you Negroes used to laugh at me, told me it's too hot for boots. If you spend some money on them, it ain't never too hot for no damn boots. Okay, that's because you wearing that cheap ass operation boots, right? So again, thank you so much, everybody. The Don Miller Show. Follow me on all platforms. Subscribe and like. Tell your friends, subscribe and like. Listen, if y'all just want somebody to talk to, call me. I got a lot of time on my hands, man. I just be sitting around. No, don't call me. I'm bull. But yeah, call me because I just want to know how people are feeling about what's happening in this country. Phil, tell them how they can find you, the podcast doctor.
Don't call this number.
Don't call that number, please.
If you're looking
Phil
for
said
Don.
people be calling him, talking about, can I speak to Don?
Yeah,
No, Don
at 2
don't
in
be
the
here.
morning.
Only on Thursday nights. Again, shout out to all the sponsors, the Vineyard Lake Mary, Casa Leon, Skips Western Outfitters, Xantavius the Weed Man. Oh, no.
Hey.
Xantavius the Weed Man. Damn, I wasn't supposed to say that. But listen, I want to give you a heads up. If you got the same weed man for 20 years, stay with him because he got a job somewhere. You ain't never made a living or fed your family selling reefer. Again, thank you so much, everybody. Shout out to Shannon Burke, the Shannon Burke Radio Show, Monday through Friday on Florida Man Radio. Download the Florida Man Radio app and listen to Shannon Burke. And keep me in your prayers that my application goes through. Bye-bye, everybody.
Check your feelings, he's turning wrongs to right. Every Thursday at 8, his voice takes the stage.